against Russian high command on attacks on civilian power generation infrastructure, as well as the kids' files. The kids' files included, for each kid, 30 to 40-page dossiers. We couldn't access it that morning. For several days, the State Department and our team and our prime implementer that we reported to were trying to find the location of these case files, which also included direct support to the Office of the Prosecutor General on specific homicides which were not made public, performed with Department of Justice support. So we were trying to find, basically, the joke was, dude, where's my data? The situation is that there had been no plan for the preservation of the database.
Do you have the data now?
We do. And we were able, in our reinstatement, to transfer that data finally to Europol and to the Ukrainian
This
government.
is not just a bureaucratic slip. It exposes how institutional failure can jeopardize accountability, justice, and the protection of innocent civilians, right at the moment when evidence matters most.
Testifiers, I'll start with Mr. Raymond. Can you walk us through what happened in terms of the contract termination, sort of when you were informed, how it got reversed, and then specifically what happened to the data file and how you sort of saved it?
On February 27th, we were informed that an exemption request by the now defunct Bureau of Conflict and Stabilization Operations to preserve us as essential was denied. And that day, we lost access to our database. That database had 13 large case files, which had contributed to.
What happens here is more than an administrative hiccup. It shows how fragile justice becomes when the system treating accountability as optional instead of essential suddenly hesitates. This is the point where democratic responsibility collides with bureaucratic indifference. When evidence disappears, accountability disappears with it. And what's really being tested is whether institutions prioritize stability or truth.
To the 4 indictments by the ICC against Russian high command on attacks on civilian power generation infrastructure, as well as the kids' files. The kids' files included, for each kid, 30 to 40-page dossiers. We couldn't access it that morning. For several days, the State Department and our team and our prime implementer that we reported to were trying to find the location of these case files, which also included direct support to the Office of the Prosecutor General on specific homicides which were not made public, performed with Department of Justice support. So we were trying to find, basically, the joke was, dude, where's my data? The situation is that there had been no plan for the preservation of the database.
Do you have the data now?
We do. And we were able, in our reinstatement, to transfer that data finally to Europol and to the Ukrainian government.
This moment matters because it exposes a dangerous vulnerability. If democracies claim to stand for justice, then losing evidence isn't just careless. It undermines credibility and weakens international commitments. What this leads to is a chilling reality. Without structural reliability, justice becomes conditional. And conditional justice isn't justice at all.
What's the annual amount that you receive from the federal government under normal circumstances?
It varied, but it was approximately $4 to $5 million to our team directly.
Okay. And you're saying that the status of your contract renewal is still in question?
No, we have been formally terminated as of June. We are no longer a implementer for the U.S. State Department.
Who is going to do that work?
I do not know, sir.
This isn't about one organization. It's about whether democratic systems truly support accountability missions or retreat when they become inconvenient. The larger question is whether institutional courage exists beyond statements and press releases. When support collapses, so does the promise of justice. And that has long-term implications for global trust.
Do you believe that the State Department has a plan and is not telling you, or do you believe that they don't have a plan?
We met with our colleagues today at State Department and had a very good discussion, but I'm not privy to their plan.
Of the 4 categories of abducted children, are you able to break it down by percentage? Who's in an institution? Who is with a Russian family? Do you know, or are you at this point still guessing?
I'm going to try to keep this as not wonky as possible. For 2 of the groups, we have both like a fraction, a numerator and denominator a number we've seen and a number we think exists. But for two of the groups, we don't have a denominator, meaning simply we don't know how many there could be. For the battlefield kids and for the kids in filtration, we don't know what that total data set could be. For the institution kids and for the kids in camps, we are beginning to get to a denominator, but we don't have a percentage yet, sir.
Give me obviously you don't have fidelity. No one has fidelity. That's what this work is all about. I get that. I'm just trying to get a sense for, are most of the kids in institutions, or most of the kids not? Give me a sense for, of these 35,000 kids, how many of them are in camps or institutions versus families or elsewhere?
So I'll go from biggest set. We know we can order them 1, 2, 3, 4. The majority of the kids have been either indefinitely or temporarily in the camps. That's the plurality. Second group would be the institution kids. The third group is likely the battlefield kids, and fourth is filtration. But on third and fourth, I could be wrong on that.
Mr. Raymond,
This moment underscores a deeper issue: transparency inside institutions themselves. If leadership isn't fully aware of operational failures, accountability breaks down from the inside out. The consequence is a dangerous gap between stated values and operational reality, and democracies cannot afford that gap if they expect to lead with legitimacy.
relates to the continuation of the work, whether it's your organization or some other organization or the State Department itself. Could you please correspond with the committee on a relatively regular basis, with the permission of the chairman, on the status of those negotiations? Senator Rubio, Secretary Rubio, has conveyed to us multiple times that this remains a priority, but where the rubber hits the road, sometimes we have hit a number of tremendous challenges, and so sometimes we worry that even the Secretary is not tracking, that some of these things are either happening or not happening under his nose, and so we'd like to serve as a convener and a communicator so that we don't miss a beat, and that preferably the people who are doing this excellent work just simply are able to continue to do it.
Thank you. Senator Murray.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm really glad that this
hearing reveals something bigger than a contract dispute. It exposes how fragile accountability becomes when institutions fail to safeguard the very processes meant to uphold justice. It reminds us that democracy is not sustained by statements of concern. It is sustained by reliable systems, clear responsibility, and unwavering follow-through. When justice depends on temporary funding cycles and uncertain logistics, trust erodes. And when trust erodes, democratic credibility weakens worldwide. The moral responsibility here is clear. Systems that promise justice must be built to protect it. Anything less is unacceptable. Subscribe to Liberty Report USA.